What makes a content calendar actually work for you and help the business grow, not just create more and more content? My name is Carolyn. I'm a growth marketing consultant at Ficomm, and I get this question a lot. I hear from advisors, I think my content calendar should be better, or I started one and I don't use it, or our content isn't really that strategic. What should we do to get organized? There's no one formula for a content calendar, but here are 4 elements I would encourage you to add. The real point is that you've created something that works with you. So let it grow and adapt and evolve. It's okay if you don't use every single column every single time. But here are 4 columns you should be using in your content calendar. The first is, who is accountable for this piece? It might not be the person creating the content, but who is accountable that the piece gets created in the way it's supposed to and is published on time. Think of this person as maybe a project manager for the piece, not necessarily the person creating it every time. Second point is to write down the topic of the content in a very thoughtful way. You want to write your topics specific enough that your who resonates with them, clicks on them, sees the topic or the title of the piece and says, ooh, that's for me, I gotta read it. Taking the time in the planning moment to do that step will inform the whole piece. So it's worthwhile pausing and saying, okay, if I want to talk about saving for retirement travel, you write it in a thoughtful way, specifically for your exact ideal client avatar. It's worth the 20 seconds that this will take. Third, when you're in that headspace, write down a couple bullets, very short. It might be 3 bullets that are about 8 words each, with the absolute top takeaways you must include in this piece. Think about the most valuable tip you would give. Don't feel like it needs to be organized or perfect at this point. Focus on value and what you would say if you only had 3 bullets to add value to this person's life. This thoughtful prep will be very helpful when the day comes that you're going to create the content and you want to make sure that it's focused on strategy and value for your ideal client. Lastly, think about your CTA, or basically where you're going to guide people from this piece of content to a next thing. I always like to include a CTA that engages them or makes them a follower or a fan, and a CTA that speaks to someone who's kind of ready to talk about this, and let them know how they can contact you or what your initial offer is to get started. Focusing on these 4 things will really help ensure that your content gets published and is strategic for your growth plans. What else is on your mind? Let me know in the comments or send me a DM on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to create a video giving you some tips based on what you're doing to market your firm.